Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today I figured we could take a look at this Dinosaur Pioneer deck that I made. It's really just a kind of like a washed standard deck from, the Exelon days, Exelon and Exelon Rivals when those sets were pretty prevalent. A couple cards from M20 in here, so it's pretty interesting. I think that dinosaurs are starting to bounce back in the meta because you're getting cards like Cavern of Souls, stuff like that, that kind of protects these tribal decks that have been, sadly, if I'm going to be blunt, pretty irrelevant for a while. It's really bad in modern, especially. I think the only viable, like, good deck that's tribal is, I think, Merfolk now. But yeah, so tribal decks have kind of died, but with newer support for tribal, I think like we're gonna see kind of a pushback with these kinds of decks. So anyway, this is an older deck basically is what I'm trying to get at. I don't know how this would do in a Pioneer matchup. I've had it since like standard, and I won quite a bit with it during that time. So I don't really know, but we'll see. You guys can comment, see how it is. All right, let's go ahead and go to the creatures. I'll kind of explain like what I'm playing and why, obviously. So let's start with the ramp card. This is the only one in the deck, and it's pretty solid. It's Drover of the Mighty. Um, Basically, there's a couple reasons why we play this over the red. Was it the red, like Ramper? I don't remember his name for dinosaurs, but I play this one instead of that one because he gets +2/+2 if you control a dinosaur. So that's relevant for a couple reasons. One is that we have another card in the deck that deals like damage to the creatures when like other creatures enter the battlefield. So he needs to stick around for a little bit longer, which is why I'm not playing the 1 mana like ramper. I don't remember. Uh Llanowar elves or whatever. So playing 4 of those. And playing 3 Raptor Hatchling. And basically what it does is has Enraged, obviously. If you don't know what Enrage is, basically whenever they are dealt damage, doesn't matter by what, um, they get effect. So this one gets get a 3/3 green dinosaur token with trample, so it's pretty good. We have, I want to say, the second or third best card on the deck, Martyring Raptor. This card is really underrated. So basically, creature spells cost 1 less to cast, so it's pretty good right off the bat. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, he deals 2 damage to it. And then it says if a dinosaur is dealt damage this way, he gains +2 till end of turn. So he basically is going to trigger all of your enraged triggers whenever you cast a creature spell. So that's really good. And he also gets a little bit stronger each time. So really good card for the deck. Again, that's why I'm playing Drover the Mighty, because he can take that 2 damage and keep chugging along. Up next is Ranging Raptors. Playing a playset of this. It's just it's good in basically any like facet of the game, really. Like it's really good in the early game because you're still getting lands, and it's also good in the late game because you're thinning your deck out so you can draw more dinosaurs you get his enrage trigger. So just really good card no matter what. And oh, more creatures here. We have Another really good card for the deck is Ripjaw Raptor. So playing 4. I was playing 3 for a while, but I changed it to 4 at some point. It's a 4/5 with has a draw card effect whenever it's dealt damage. So pretty good, especially in this deck because it's a very aggressive flood the board kind of deck. So you're gonna want to like replenish your hand as soon as you can. So that, and then we have 3 of I think the best card in the deck is Forerunner of the Empire. I'm only playing 3 because you only really need 1 on the board for it to be like effective. So basically, it has 2 really good abilities. First one is when it enters, you put a dinosaur card on top of your library, and then the other effect is whenever a dinosaur enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to every creature. So you can see where that's kind of going. So you're getting your enraged abilities as well from this whenever you cast that dinosaur creature, and you're also like dealing 1 damage to each of your opponent's creatures. This deck is really good against like token decks because most token decks are like they'll have like 10 1/1s on the board, and then you play this and then you cast a dinosaur and then they're all dead. So, and you also get all your enraged triggers. So this deck really beats down like fast like aggro decks or token decks and just kind of punishes them. I put 2 of these in. I I think it's okay. It's just basically another enrage trigger, and you also get a 5/5 with trample, so it's all right. Do those. Another is Sun Crown Hunters. Whenever it's dealt damage, deals 3 damage to the opponent. So you're just bolting them like a lot. It's another way to kill them. Then you have Galta, obviously. Can't run a dinosaur deck without Galta. And he comes out pretty frequently because we have, 5/5s, 4/5s, and 5/4s in the deck. So 3/3s. So he comes out pretty quickly, unless you get board wiped, which is really what this deck loses to is like heavy control decks. Like this, when I was playing this deck in standard, Teferi was around and blue white control was just a nightmare for this deck. But Pioneer, it's still a nightmare, but I don't know. We'll see, I guess. We have for the spells, nothing too fancy. I put 2 commune with dinosaurs. Basically, look at the top 5, get a dinosaur from one of them. So it's not bad. You have Ryle. This draws you a card and you get an enrage trigger. So with Ripjaw, you can get 2 cards from it, and it gains trample. So it's pretty nice. This card is really good, Lava Coil. So it deals 4 and then it exiles it. So really good against a lot of decks. And then Throw Possibility. So you'd like this deck, like um, you're being running out of cards pretty quickly in your hand. So I put this here because it's a way to kind of like keep drawing and filter out cards you just don't need for that matchup. And then the last spell here is Savage Stomp. So basically punching down like other creatures for 1 mana because it works with dinosaurs. All right, so some sideboard options are really anything that hits like enchantments or artifacts because those are pretty big right now. Um, any like really this deck punches down creatures so much that you don't have to worry about them. But when it comes to like planeswalkers, and the stuff that it can't deal with, you're gonna have to side in for those matchups. But that's really about it.